Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the Daily Brief. Exactly a day after annual 2025 review and the 2026 strategy session. It was an eventful day. A whole lot of the people who attended really commended that they enjoyed themselves. It was a detailed session. The material will be readily available and it will be shared with also a link and a pin for you to actually access the material. We thank everyone who attended. We look forward to having our first quarter review later in April. A date will be communicated. It is definitely going to be, later in April, towards the end of April, or even the first week of May, depending on the results that we expect to be released for the first quarter of the year. Now, looking at what's going on in the market, the Iran war, the US-Iran war, the US-Israel versus Iran war, quote and unquote, has continued to intensify. There's no sign of de-escalation. There's no sign of any negotiation that is likely to stop hostilities. The US actually made some bold statements today. The Secretary of War, even President Trump said this fight will continue. Iran continues to target a whole lot of Persian Gulf states, and this escalation might likely actually continue into next week, not just this week, unless there is a de-escalation or a quick, negotiation that can bring this to a stop. Now, you've seen what the market is doing. We all thought the market was going to be totally negative, but the opposite is what we are actually seeing. Yes, oil price, as you can see, has gone up as high as over $77 per barrel, Brent, which is Brent crude oil. But we can actually see that the major indices are doing record numbers, very, very positive numbers. S&P up by about 0.45%. Nasdaq 100 over 0.5051%. The Dow over 0.22526%. Bitcoin is up by almost more than 4 to 5%. Ethereum as well over 5%. And we are actually seeing the US dollar actually declined marginally, but not too dramatically. We have also seen major stocks. For instance, if you go to the stock of Palantir, what you're saying is the new Stockertim platform that we are planning to actually launch very soon. But we are actually testing this, and we should be releasing this very, 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 very soon for everyone to actually enjoy this platform. So you can see Palantir is up by over 5 to 6%. In fact, if we go to the gateway page for Palantir and we actually look at the stock on its own, you could actually see that there's a lot of there's a whole lot of betting on companies that are actually into defense. Palantir stock, as we speak, the stock is the chart is coming up, and you're actually going to see. Here's the chart. It's up by over 6%. Why is Palantir doing these numbers? Palantir's software is being used on the battlefield, not just in the boardroom. It's being used heavily for U.S. defense, intelligence, and also actual battleground use cases. If you also go to the stock of the likes of even Airbus, let's look at Airbus. Let's go to Airbus on the market. You actually see, that all of these stocks are actually doing record numbers. You could actually see stocks of Airbus is stock of Airbus rather is also up, very, 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 very dramatically, but up by about 2.3%. So at the end of the day, You see the opportunities in the market despite there being a war. What does this actually mean? This means that we are not out of the woods. It doesn't necessarily mean the market is going to be green tomorrow. It doesn't necessarily mean the market is going to continue to go higher. What we can see is that at the beginning of this year, the market has gone very, very negative, and the market is pricing in that this war might actually end anytime soon. We've seen the leadership of the Iranian government. The spiritual leader is now has now passed on, has been assassinated. We've seen various military leaders, former presidents, former prime ministers, leaders in the IRGC, which is Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. They've actually been assassinated. Are we going to get, a white flag from maybe the new leadership in Iran to negotiate something that might actually likely play out? But we do not necessarily want to predict, and that's why when we had the session yesterday, we said no one should actually predict what's going to happen today. We should also make sure that we use any opportunity for a very rare day to see what we can buy and not necessarily what we can sell. And so if you see what plays out today, the market is not necessarily pricing in a long-term war. However, this was a similar scenario that happened when Russia and Ukraine started their war. We thought the war is going to be called to an end. We thought this is going to be negotiated as soon as possible. But more than 3 years down the line, the war between Russia and Ukraine is still going on. A whole lot of bombs and missiles is still being thrown, on both sides. So is this going to continue for too long? The likes of Dubai, the Emirates, the Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, many of these countries are now being affected. Saudi Arabia is also affected. So are these countries going to actually turn against Iran? And if they do turn against Iran, fighting alongside the US and Israel, this might actually escalate. Now, the pressure point that we don't want to get to is for this to actually continue for another 2 weeks. If this continues for another 2 weeks and oil price continues to go up towards the 80s to 90s and almost $100 per barrel, that will actually make the market to go very negative. And that is where I want us to actually pay attention to make sure we see opportunities and we take charge of opportunities. Today is a green day. It's not in any way to buy anything. As a matter of fact, do not actually do anything for now. But if you continue to see this conflict continuing, no negotiation, no white flag, no de-escalation point, that might actually be a point for you to actually see what you can actually buy, because at the end of the day, this is also going to lead to a negotiation table. At the end of the day, all wars that have been fought actually end on a negotiation table. So do not necessarily despair. Do not necessarily try to predict what's going to go on. Actually, just position yourself as an investor. If you need any guidance, if you need any feedback based on what we did yesterday, please reach out. Don't be shy. We are just a WhatsApp away or through the email, and we will be able to actually see what we can do. We are planning to launch Stockertim Gateway, which is a research platform, very detailed research platform on the Stockertim 20 stocks, on the NGX Champion as well. It's going to be covering every major stock that we actually buy, that we invest in, that we talk about, that we analyze. So Stockertim Gateway is going to be a game changer for every member of Stockertim. Detailed research, price targets, everything, buy or sell, data in the company. When directors in the companies are buying or selling any stock, you actually get all the information on Stockertim Gateway. So we'll be launching this in the next 1 week. We just want to perfect a few things so that everybody has access. It's going to be the game changer for you to actually do more research, to understand the companies that you own and the companies that you actually have access to. Thank you so much. I'll see everyone on Wednesday. We are planning to basically make sure we polish this gateway. We make sure you have access to it in the next 1 week when we actually launch this. This will actually make us to do less content and much more analysis going forward. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Wednesday. Take care. Bye bye.